Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pop-out tower card. Not quite sure what I'm going to call it yet, you'll see it in the title box. So this is the one that I've made previously, and you've just got this lovely pop-out, and this is Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny. That's from a CD-ROM that I've got. I'll just use that. But this is the one that I'm going to show you how to make today. And it's got Peter Rabbit with his sisters and his mum. And it's in similar colours to the other one, but it's really nice. They've got quite a lot of things for you to look at in this one. It's all different angles for you to look at it, and then you can just stand it up like this on the mantelpiece. So I'll just try and get it so wherever you stand it up, this is what you're going to see. So this is why I've not done too much on these panels here, because when it's stood up you're not going to see very much from behind. So I've just done the bottom and the tops, which are the main bits that you're going to see. So you can use this for any time of the year or any card, and this is just your back where you can put your sentiment, and you can even decorate this panel here, which I'll talk about during the tutorial. So let's get started and I'll show you how. Okay, so to make our card we're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, the heavier the better. And then we've got one that is 7 inches by 11 3/4 and one that is 7 inches by 8 1/2. So that's inches. And I'll just get my scoreboard the right way around. So you want to take the one that is 11 3/4, and we're going to score, so it wants to be at 3 inches, 5 inches, 6 3/4, and then just trying to think what the distance is from that one. Turn it back round, turn it round that way, and it's going to 3 inches. I think I've left my brain in bed. So yeah, so 3 inches from either side if you've got a scoreboard like this. If you're using your bigger scoreboard it'll go wider. I didn't think to get that one out like a silly Billy. And then you want to get the one that is 7 and 8 1/2, and you want to score it at 3 1/2 and 5 1/4. Okay, so then that's all your scoring done out of the way. So as you can see with this card, we've got this pop-up piece here, and it will stand like this. So the main card base is this one. So I've got it on this side because that's the side that I want it out. So you just want to turn it over and fold it the opposite way, and this will stretch the fibres of the card. So this is what you'll see on the outside, and I'll just do that on both of those marks. Okay, so that's going to be your card. Excuse me. And then take your other one, and then first of all just fold them all back onto themselves just to give them a good burnish. They are going to go differently, but I like to just get this part done, and then you know that they're all flexible and you can move them into what position you want. Okay, I've done that. So as you can see here, this piece is going to go along this way, then up, across, down and across. So this one needs to be a valley fold, mountain, valley. So it's valley, mountain, mountain, valley. Okay, so mountain, no sorry, valley, mountain, mountain and then valley. So this creates your pop-up piece that you're going to stick your main embellishment on. Now it's easier to decorate your this piece now while it's flat, so we'll do that now. So what I've done is I've printed some embellishments and things off from a CD-ROM. It's the Crafts Companion Beatrix Potter Winter's Tale, I think it was called. I think that's what it was called anyway, Winter's Tale. It was the one for Beatrix Potter anyway, if you remember that series coming out. And I need, where's my other piece gone? Don't know why I've got that one. Right, these pieces of here, so these pieces measure 2.5 by 6 3/4. So these pieces are going to go here. Oh, that one's for the front, so we're going to stick these ones on first and find my glue. Just using the clal all-purpose, and then just going to stick that in the middle. Got that lined up. Now on these pieces I've printed off some of the ribbons that are on the CD-ROM, and this is the Peter Rabbit with his sisters and his mum, and what I've done is I've cut them out and then I've just taken some mirror board and made it a little bit wider than what the strip is, and then I've cut it to 7 inches. So you just need to line these up. We'll use a tape pen for this one simply because it's mirror board, and you can use the clal on that one. It's just that it takes a little while longer to dry, and I'm wanting to stand the card up so I can show you a bit better. So I'm just going to put this into the centre. Put that out of the way for a minute. Get in the middle, so it's just got a little border going all the way up. I'm going to cut that one a little bit too high at the top, so we'll just snip it off. Okay. Now if you haven't got this CD on, you don't have to use this, you can use anything out of your stash to decorate. This is just what I'm wanting to use for most of my Christmas cards this year, so when you see my videos you'll probably see quite a lot of Peter Rabbit and all of those. Line it up. Just cut it a little bit too long for that one as well. Okay, so now on these 2 side panels, these are going to go here. So we can go back to our clal, simply because it takes longer for the clal to dry when it's on a mirror board or anything like that. I do prefer using a wet glue for doing anything. It's simply because, and I said this in all my paper craft videos, you get that wiggle room with it, whereas with a tape pen or just regular double-sided tape, you're pretty much committed to where it goes down to first, unless you've not pressed it down very firmly. But the Crafters Companion ones, once you've got it down, it pretty much stays where you've put it, so I do prefer the wet glue. Tape pens are good for quick cards, for if you've just got things that, you know, doesn't matter if they're a little squiff if you're just putting your normal embellishments on and things, but like I said, I prefer the wet glue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this piece on to this one. Okay, so once you've got your 2 work pieces ready, now we're going to take the left hand flap or piece to the inside of this one. So we just want to take our wet glue and then we're just going to butt it up to that score line and then just fold it flat that way. That way you know that it's not going to come into contact with the other piece, and just make sure you've got it all straight and lined up with your card along the top and along the bottom. And then you want to do the exact same thing but on the opposite side. And just push the centre out and then just line it up with that score line on the opposite side. Just make sure it's passed and you've got it all level so that your card will stand up straight. If you don't want your card falling over when people are... So to leave your card flat, you can either push it that way and close it that way, or only up and put it that way, and then this is going to be the front of our card. So I've just got another piece of pattern paper, and this is the 3" by 6 3/4. So that one's going to go there on the front. I'm going to go back out. I'm just going to pop this on there. And then just turn it over, and then this panel is where we're going to have to write our sentiment. So this piece of card is just white and it's the same measurement as before. And then you could stamp a sentiment onto this, but I've got something that I'm going to stick onto it instead. So I've got this box of Christmas toppers and embellishments that I've had for years and years, and I'm trying to make myself use them up as much as I can this year. So, not there. Now you could also put something on this panel here if you wanted to. You can actually put one of the ribbons on there. If you have got the CD or something that's like this, you can put it here, or you could do a fancy embossed panel. That's another thing that you could do. Right, so on the front I'm going to put this little topper that's on the CD-ROM as well, because we're not wanting the front to be too decorated, because it's the inside that's going to be seen most of the time. So I've got, what shall we have? We've got Christmas wishes, Winter Wonderland. Which one should we go for? We'll go for the Winter Wonderland, I think. See, I change my mind all the time. I had actually laid all these out before recording, and now I've got to come in mind. Right, we'll have that one instead, I think. I'll go with that one. So I always doubt myself when I come to putting things in places, because I just want it to look right. I found making simple cards really difficult for me to do. Reason being is because I don't feel like I've done enough on them for me to give them to somebody else. But whenever I give them, people are always happy with them. It's just me. It's my own criticism. So as they say, you're your own worst critic when it comes to your work. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to go around here with some rhinestones in a moment, so I'm going to do that in a minute. I just want to do all of my sticking down for the front and the back first. So let's go with this one, like that one. So you could put this on foam pads, but I'm already going to be putting foam pads on the topper on the inside, so I don't want to make it too bulky. So, you know, if you get some of that glue, just keep rubbing away at it and it will come off. That's what I love about collage glue. It just turns into like this rubbery consistency. But once it's fully dry, it's really, really strong. So I think I've got it all off now. over. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take some of these sticky gems and I'm just going to put them all the way around. Let's take them off. And just go over the edging. And why I like doing this is, one, it sort of frames it, as well as, it frames it, plus if you've not got very steady hands like I've not got steady hands at all, your lines might not be perfectly cut. So doing this, it adds a border, plus it hides any imperfections within your cutting. And I'm just going to go around the front like I've done on this one. So I'm going to go off camera and do that because you don't need to watch me doing that, that'll be very boring. And I'll be back in just... Okay, so I've got all my sticky gems on. And they do move around a little bit, these ones. It's because they're not the best glue on the back, but it's alright. They do push back for it if they do get knocked a little bit. And you'll have noticed I've also changed the topper as well. I weren't right keen on the other one, so I swapped it back out for this one. Now what we're going to do is just going to put 2 little bows in either corner. No, not those corners. These corners. Forgetting myself. So I'm going to put these here. I'm going to make sure that they're on the inside so they don't come on the outside of the edges, because if they came outside of the edges they wouldn't fit into your envelope. So I've just got my hot glue gun. I recommend this for when you're sticking bows on and things like that, because the glue dots are not very reliable, and if you use a regular wet glue you have to sit there and hold it for quite a while before it starts tacking. So this is just simply for quickness. I just need to get it so that it comes in. So and then I think we might put some holly leaves on here. These are what I've been cutting out for another project, but they're looking at me on my table and I thought stick some on. So I think I put some in each corner like this. Yeah, I think I'll do that in a second. So what I want to show you next actually was the main topper that's going to go in the centre part, and this is called a pyramid. So as you can see on the side, it goes up, but each layer gets smaller, and I just use foam pads to separate the layers. Now I've already got one ready, so it's just a case of cutting it out. If you do have these, you can use a regular decoupage if you wish. This is just what I wanted to use. So on the CD-ROM it comes out like this, and they're all numbered. So you cut number 1 out first, obviously, and then you line up the next layer, which is number 2, and then you put it so that it matches up with the picture on the background. So it just gives you that lift, and it's just another type of decoupage. So that's just how that works. So I thought you don't really need to see me doing that. So I'm going to pop this right in the centre here. Again, I'll use my normal wet glue for this one. So just try and get your glue just straight down the middle, because you don't want it to stick anywhere else on the card. I'm just going to pop it here. And keep it still. Just try and get it aligned. I'm trying to look in the camera at the same time as looking at what I'm doing, so yeah, I think that's about right. Okay, and then I've just got this top here, wishing you a magical Christmas. Again, this is off that CD-ROM, and I'm just going to stick that there. So, whoop, I'm going to pull that off again. See, it's the good thing about wet glue, and sometimes it's the bad thing about wet glue, because you have to wait for it to stick when you're trying to do something else, and when you're trying to do it on camera it makes it even worse. So I'll just get some foam pads for this one. So just try and make sure that you get them right in the centre, because again you don't want them to come off and then stick to the side panels here. Come in a little bit more now. we go. And then I've just got some little felt trees that I'm going to put along the bottom here, just as an extra embellishment. So I'm going to put them like this. And I'm going to take my glue gun. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down this centre here. Don't want too much because you don't want it to come sticking out and go everywhere. Just pop it down. Now you don't have to put the trees on or the pyramid as I've done it. You can use normal decoupage or any other embellishments that you may have in your stash. I just need a little glue stick because that one's just about running out. The good thing about this pop-up bit is you can push it either way, so when you're decorating they don't have to get in the way. There we go. Okay. And then when that all goes down like this, so it is going to need one of the puffier envelopes that you can, gusseted envelopes, that's the right word for it. So I'll just stick some of these holly leaves in while I'm thinking about it. Oh, I'm losing everything. Now these holly leaves are just from some dies that I've got, and I've just cut them out of some green cardstock. And I think they're in 5 sizes in the ones that I've got. Which is very handy for doing this sort of thing. When I was cutting them out I thought I might need them for something else, and here I am, the day after I've cut them out, and I'm using them. So if you're in the studio with me, you'll see I've got organised chaos going around. But I do try to keep it as tidy as I can do because I can't stand mess. But it takes away from creativity time when I'm having to tidy up everything all the time. Right, there we go. That's our lovely holly leaves all finished. So as you can see, it's a very impactful card. So you'd probably call it a mantle pleaser because it just has so many dimensions to it and things to look at. You can put extra things in here, but I just didn't want to take away from the front part because when it stands up, I'll try and get it like that, that's what you're going to see. So having something on here, you can decorate it, but it's not necessary because when it stands up on the shelf or wherever, they're just going to see this side of it. So I hope you've enjoyed that and it's inspired you to have a go at this type of card this Christmas, or any type of card throughout of the year. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll answer them as best I can. And if you've enjoyed the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that would be appreciated too. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.